the meaning of Akana means in the hands of God. Our mission, we believe health, wealth, freedom, and legacy are our birthright. We're offering the most life-changing products in an innovative business. We empower people to elevate to their full potential. Also, too, it's Black History Month, so happy Black History Month, everyone on the line. I know they're trying to make some changes, but guess what? We're going to claim this month always and forever, okay? I know it's also Valentine's Day month as well, my birthday month, so February has a lot of things happening. And I just want to say to the team, oh my goodness, certification was off the charts, okay? I mean, one, they got done in record time. I mean, that was pretty cool. I mean, many of you probably were kind of stunned, like, wow, you had your whole Sunday evening at least for an hour or so, right? But that was amazing, guys, and it was just such good information, you know, really concise, but condensed, but just a lot of great information. It really gets you excited, right, for next month. Like, we can't see what else is going on. So I want to just thank you, Kathy, for leading the charge. Oh, my goodness, just really helping to get this streamlined, working with Kayada Cooks. And thank you, Kayada, for helping as well, just to get our certification streamlined. And then, of course, Dr. Betty, Dr. Yakima, Willie Mooney. And then tonight, if you didn't get the memo, we will have part 2. It's going to be about 90 minutes, maybe just a little less than that. But it's an influencer training. So if you really are excited about this whole aspect of what it means to be an influencer, how you can grow your brand, how you can create residual income with your house slippers and your robe. I mean, isn't that pretty cool? Just to be able to make money from home and to do it with social media. Also, too, this weekend, we have our Galentine's Day celebration. So for those of you who are going to be in attendance, we can't wait to see you. It's going to be so much fun. I know a lot of people are coming in pairs, you know, sometimes 3 and 4 girlfriends at a time. So make sure you grab up your ticket if you haven't done that already. Also, too, a big announcement that I did mention last night on the call for our certification was our hemp Govee. You'll be able to start purchasing that online separately this week. Right now, it's only been included with the 21-day cleanse, but we're super excited that you can actually go get more details on hemp Govee at knowyourbloodtype.com. In fact, that's going to be a great lead capture type page for you to really, you know, show your prospects kind of the information, not only that we have, but also the visuals, right? It's always cool when you can point them to something without you having to try to be the expert. So I'm excited today. I'm going to be enrolling about 4 or 5 new prospects myself, okay, just because I've taken the time to share that with my friends and people that I haven't really had a chance to dive into with them about the whole blood type campaign, but I really feel that website is going to take a lot of the heavy lifting off of us. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about that too on our Wellness Influencer Training, because this month it is February and we are pushing for CV. You know, many of you are pushing to be a part of the Consistency Club, the Author Club, and so we actually are putting an incentive out there for all of those who do hit their 500 CV this month. We're going to give you double rewards and just celebrate you all month long. So we are super excited about that. Also, too, there is an event that we have not yet put on the site, but I know I am working with Gerald West tomorrow on the final details. But just know that our Valentine's Couples event, it is in full effect. So please mark your calendar for February the 14th. It's on a Friday, and we're going to have loads of fun. Also, too, there are some new product packs, everything from our Valentine's Day product pack to our Viral Shield introduced to us by Dr. Betty, okay? So you want to check both of those out. For those of you who have been pushing for CV, and if you won the contest last year to Orlando, I want to also give you a quick update on that. We will be heading to Orlando, Florida, May 15th through the 19th. For those of you who need to get your flight, the airport code is MCO, okay, MCO, right there in Orlando. And again, those dates are May 15th through the 19th. Make sure you get your flight. Also, too, I want to remind everyone as well, we have a Sisters in Healing event that will take place at the Soul Massage on February the 22nd. So those are all the events. And so now I'm going to get into a message this morning. In fact, I had a different message, but you know what? I went into a different direction because I said, you know what? There was a conversation that came up And it really reminded me, right, of just something that I could share that I felt, you might be able to relate to. Now, men, I don't know. You might not relate to this, okay? But I'm sure for those of you who've watched your spouse go through the birthing process, right, or if you've ever birthed anything at all, right, if you've ever just birthed a dream, birthed a business, right, you can understand labor pains, right? And there are what we call labor pains of success. And so I'm going to share a scripture. I'm going to break it down, and then I'm going to give you 4 stages of labor. So we're going to look at our business today in terms of giving birth. And so if you go back and read the scripture, Isaiah 66, verse 7 through 8, here's what it reads. Before she goes into labor, she gives birth. Before the pains come upon her, she delivers a son. Who has ever heard of such a thing? Who has ever seen things like this? Now, that's how the scripture reads, right? So here's my takeaway. First and foremost, there are no shortcuts to success, right? When you think about the divine process of creation, okay, there's creation, growth, and breakthrough. So there's a natural order that even a woman in childbirth, right, a natural order that a woman cannot give birth before experiencing labor pains, just as a business cannot flourish without going through challenges, effort, and perseverance. And so here's something I want you to write down. The pain precedes the breakthrough. See, many entrepreneurs, right, what do we wish for? Overnight success. Everyone wants it in a hurry, like at a fast food restaurant, right? Like going through the drive-through, microwave. But just like childbirth requires labor pains, business requires hard work, trials, sacrifice before seeing any results. See, if success came without the struggle, guess what? It would not be sustainable and it would not be meaningful. So just think about this for a second. Imagine a baby that's born, but the mom didn't even go through pregnancy and labor. I mean, is that possible, right? I mean, we know in one case, but is that possible? Now, similarly, in business, there's certain foundational work, right? There's foundational work that has to be done. When you think about in business, whether you're doing social media, you're building an audience, you're learning, you're on these calls, learning, refining your skills, you're facing rejection. I mean, there's this foundational work that has to be done, right? Because when you really think about that, if you skip the foundational work, you can't expect long-term success because there's no foundation. You have perhaps built something, but at the end of the day, it comes crumbling down because there's no foundation. And so I want you to understand that whatever your dream is, right, your business, okay, it will be a testimony when you really think about that, because the scripture ends with this. And this is really what got me. Who has ever heard such a thing? And so that's suggesting that what God is birthing through you is going to amaze people. See, the struggles that we're enduring today, right, it makes your story even more powerful, inspiring to others to believe in their journey. Because if it was easy, guess what? People would just say, hey, you're just lucky. You have it. But when you can tell them, okay, your trials and your tribulations, that's inspiring, because in most cases, guess what? Success comes with a lot of things that people had to endure. And so when you really think about this, right, when you're birthing a dream, there's a process, okay? There's a process. When you're birthing a business, there's a process. So when you're starting your business, and now we can relate it, right, to pregnancy and childbirth, okay? See, it begins with excitement and vision, but as time goes on, the process becomes uncomfortable, painful, and even exhausting. And guess what? Most people, they just want the reward, right? They want the reward, but they underestimate that the labor pains that are required to come before it. And so I want you to think about this, right? Just as a mother, right, endures labor because of the joy that's coming. See, you must push through the hard times, knowing that your business baby, right, your dream baby is worth it. So I'm going to share with you now the 4 stages of what it really takes to birth something big, okay? Stage 1 is the conception, okay? I say that's the excitement of a new vision. So it's kind of like that moment you get that idea to start your business. It's kind of like finding out you're expecting. So you're filled with excitement, with dreams, with anticipation, and you start to imagine, oh, what is this business going to look like, right? Where are the places I'm going to travel? Where are the people I'm going to help? So you're imagining what it looks like when it's fully grown, right? And so you're going to tell people, and some people you tell, they're going to celebrate you, and others are going to question you, and they might even doubt your decision. But I got another scripture that I'm going to read, and this is actually Habakkuk 2 and 3, so chapter 2, verse 3, and it talks about, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Through it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And so what this verse reminds me of is that we have to have what? Patience and faith in the fulfillment of God's promises. As TJ would always remind us, we must trust the process. See, because here's the lesson. Every great business starts with a seed, but it takes time to grow. When you think about the Amazons, you think about, even the story of Sam Walton, there's the seeds that were planted, but wow, look at the amazing harvest that's come from that. And when I think about actually even the book of Habakkuk, right, it reminds me of four things. One, God will humble the prideful. God's plans are better. God's grace can penetrate the hardest hearts. We should trust in God's promise, even when the world seems dark and chaotic. And sometimes you might feel that way, whether it's just in general, whether it's sometimes in your business, in just family life sometimes. But understand that we have to trust the process. Now, stage 2 of your pregnancy in your business or in your dream is that's where the growth and the challenges begin, right? Sometimes the growth is happening so big, right? The baby's gaining weight, your business is forming, okay? But guess what? It's still invisible to most people. So what are you doing? You're investing your time, your energy, your money, but you just haven't seen the full results yet, right? You might have family members, your husband, your wife. Well, I don't see you as a millionaire yet. You just have all these dreams, right? But guess what? Your business is forming. So for most people, it's still invisible. But guess what? Those early months feel great, though, as you get closer to actually the launch, okay? That goal you're shooting for, that's when the discomfort kicks in. The sleepless nights, financial stress, fear, and self-doubt, those negative voices might be telling you give up. But there's another scripture I'm going to give you right now, okay? And this scripture reminds us, being confident of this very thing, that he who has begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. Philippians 1 and 6. Now, here's the lesson in that. Growth is uncomfortable, but it means your business is developing, okay? Your business is growing. And all the pains you feel right now, just know it will be absolutely worth it. But here's stage 3, and that's the labor. And see, we call that the pain before the breakthrough. See, this is where most people quit. See, labor is the hardest part, right? People want to oftentimes give up in the middle of it, right? It pushes you beyond your limit. You may want to cry, feel frustrated. You might even wonder, why did I start this, okay? Everything in you wants to give up. But this is where your dream is closest to being born. So what do we learn from that? We have to push through the pain, okay? Push through the pain. In fact, I got a scripture to back that up. John 16 and verse 21. A woman giving birth to a child has pain because her time has come. But when her baby is born, she forgets the anguish because of her joy that a child is born into the world. So here's the lesson. And this is a powerful lesson. If you can survive the hardest moments of your life, guess what? You will hold your dream in your hands because you're going to give birth to something great. But in order to do that, you must first do what? Survive past the hardest moments. Because now we get to stage 4, and that's the delivery, the birth of your dream. Maybe it's the birth of your new business, right? But here's the reality. After all the pain, the pushing, the tears. It happened. It happened. See, you start to get those first customers who become repeat customers. You get people now that are saying, hey, I want to join your team. You get the first wins. Then you reach bronze. Then you go gold. You go all the way to platinum, right? Some of you diamond, customers that are now calling you. So here's what you start to reflect on. And this happens because this happened to me in business time and time again. But you start to realize it was worth the struggle. And so here's another scripture, Romans 8:18. For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. And so what is that lesson? The pain was temporary, but the reward is eternal. And so I'm going to encourage each and every one of you on the line today, because I know regardless, of what part and what stage of life you're in, we all go through struggles, right? We go through struggles in our business. We go through struggles in just launching new dreams with our families, right? But just know that struggles are temporary. When you think about starting a business and building a business, it's not easy, okay? It comes with sometimes financial strain, rejection, self-doubt, long hours. And I'm going to be quite frank, I can remember numerous times in building my teams and businesses, you start to question, is this worth the effort? But know this, the hardships of today cannot compare to the success and impact that awaits you. And see, that's when you get through the other side. And so what I had to do in my history of building businesses and teams, I had to rely sometimes on the faith of others who had experienced that before, because a lot of times, you're having faith, but you have never experienced it. So when you have someone else who's experienced the struggle, the hardship, and then all of a sudden they busted through and had massive, massive success, then it's their faith, their belief in you that actually starts to cause you to say, you know what, I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to persevere because I know what's awaiting for me on the other side. And just know that as a leader of your family, a leader of your team, a leader in business, that every great business leader faces trials. Know that every successful entrepreneur started with a struggle, working late nights, okay, making sacrifices, facing failures, okay? But here's what we know. We know that there's glory and freedom that's going to come from what? Being persistent. And we know that that is far greater than the pain of the process, okay? And so just understand that your future success is going to outshine your current struggles. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about when you reach your goals, when your business is thriving, when your team is growing, when your vision comes to life. So you're going to look back and you're going to say, wow, every single hardship was worth it. Because guess what? The pain of growth is temporary, but the rewards of perseverance are lasting. And so if you are in a season of struggle in your business and whatever it is you're trying to birth, I want you to keep pushing, okay? Because you are not suffering in vain. You are planting seeds for a future of prosperity, for a future of impact. Just know that the breakthrough is coming and the glory will be greater than the struggle. And so here's a declaration for you. My present struggles are nothing compared to the success and abundance that is coming my way. I'm going to say it again. My present struggles are nothing compared to the success and abundance that is coming my way. And so as a final message of encouragement, like a newborn, your business needs nurturing, patience, love. See, the labor might be over, but the journey of raising your baby, right, your business baby has just begun. And so what do? We want to keep going. We want to keep growing and never stop believing, because we know that our dreams are worth it, right? So now the question is, are you ready to push? And so with that being said, guys, I've been getting messages from our rebound team. So I'm giving you guys a shout out this morning because you are a testimony to the power of consistency. I don't know exactly when you started the rebound, but I know when we launched the Flat Belly Lifestyle, we wrote about rebounding in the book. And I know Dr. Roz took the lead, started a rebound group. And here we are years later, guys, years later. And you guys get on every morning. And that's a testament to consistency, to your consistency. So I wanted to give you guys a shout out because they're on, guys, every morning at 8:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. And so with that being said, at 2:30 p.m., we want to also save our strands. We have our trichologist, Doris Mosley, and I want to actually just ask everybody to keep her uplifted in prayers. I know I talked about a little bit about this last Monday, but her sister has passed, and so we want to uplift Doris and just please make sure, you give her support and encouragement because her and her family are going to need it at this time. So just know, Doris, we love you. Our prayers and our thoughts are with you. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., we do have the Diamond Factory, so make sure you tune in for that. And I just want to remind you guys, as always, our 2025 vision for Akana is clear, okay? Health, wealth, freedom, and legacy for every person we touch. So we're going to move forward together, no looking back, and I want each and every one of you to have an Akana day. I'm going to see you at the top, the very top, the tip top.